how did you find this deal by your current location? Was it just
So,
like, were you looking there, or did you just coincidental?
so it's
Founded last
Kevin,
year.
yeah, our
acquiring.
COO, he's one of the people that are local, and he's been bopping around the area, right? He's always driving to an existing site, meeting contractors there, and doing all that. So he's looking around, he sees for sale signs, and he's really the one that's taking all of our leads that come in and putting it through our 60-second analyzer to move it to our 5-minute analyzer so I can shoot an LOI, and then we'll get into our extensive analyzer. But he's the one that like gets them all. He's like, these people right here. He's always like nosing, and he was looking. We've been looking for this land that we bought. We've been looking for a year. There was like a version 1 of land we wanted to buy on water, and this one is version 2 essentially. This what we're developing, and it's bigger. And bigger's easier, right? But yeah, just getting it from driving around, figuring things out, keeping your eye out, asking people what's going on, and yeah, now we're getting a bunch of deal flow, which is fun, right? It's super fun.
Good deal. That's really fun. That's making things happen.
So that's just
One really fun thing about this one is the ink doesn't even have to dry. We can go take shovels out and put 25 more pads. Just same day, almost.
Yeah.
Because the current owners already quit, he just starts digging and laying it down for you.
Yeah, we're working through the deal where it's a structure where it's 30% down, 70% seller financed. So got a big old, nice way of doing that, raising some money on it. We have to finish this marina that he has, just putting some of this extra extension that's in the middle of the other slips with lifts that are already there. But doing all that, he wants to get it done before season, which is going to be in April, and before season starts. So we're looking to do that and a couple other things there. But he already has approved plans for an expansion, and we're going to tweak them a little bit, right? If we're going to be the owners, like now we're getting everything around it, but it's poised for that because it's already like easily a 10 cap on this before you add all this marina money and any of this other stuff. So it's crazy. It's crazy, that real exciting and nice. But yeah, part of the deal with the structure is that he's going to stay on for a year. Remember, I was putting something out there like, hey, how do we structure something? I'd be curious to hear what structures you guys have for keeping people on in equity. And that would be real interesting to talk about, because there's a lot of different ways you can do it. And sometimes you don't want people to stay on, right? But so it's figuring out the right people for the right type of creative deal. And yeah, I mean, we can make our financing easier because he's on there. We can do lots of things if we really wanted to, just keeping him on. There's tons of experience. He's a freaking developer. He's been doing it for 22 years. So
are you gonna
sourcing the backup person? If we don't want them there, who's that backup person? How do you guys? Because you don't have them before the deal, or if you're not sure if they're going to stay on. Getting the person to run the operator for park if no one's moving into it.
Absolutely. He's not going to be the operator. We're the operator.
More GM, park manager.
Right.
Yeah, he's not going to be the park manager. We're in charge. I don't let anyone else be in charge. Don't get me wrong.
He's really just help. He's just
he's a help. He knows how to operate this heavy machinery. He's worth money. He's worth connections in the area. He knows all the people. He's going to be that buffer. We always want to keep someone on for 90 days at least, just to make sure the transition is good. The transition's always the worst, the hardest part, because for a lot of reasons. But keeping him on and just even more, let him, like, so many different things, but give him a role, really define that role. But he doesn't want to do operations, so that's perfect. So
the construction toys.
Yeah,
drink beer and be like, I'll help you out with that.
That's what I told him.
Let me check.
I'll come down. Yeah, I'll come down and help. Driving that heavy machinery, that's fun. That's easy. Yeah, clear that land. By the way, drive it up a little more north and clear our land up there too. Why don't you? Right?
I was going to ask, are you going to move them over or have them somehow be worker for both parks?
I mean, that's the and that's going on in my mind.
Is that he in his 70s or 80s or is he not
77? 77. I don't know
but he's
why.
a
I've heard that
spry 77.
he's a
like a young
spry
and fresh.
77. Yeah, he's good. And that's wisdom and experience with the wheel and the controls, right? He knows what's needed. And so, yeah, otherwise that equipment, what are you going to do? Sell it? Let it sit and rust? We're not going to have to develop so much more. Yeah, move it up there. Let's just, it's definitely part of the deal. I'm buying that freaking thing because I'm going to drive it. I love driving skid steers.
The truth comes out while you wanted this deal. I just wanted the equipment.
Yeah.
It's the fun toys. Like you're saying, you get a Tesla with it. It's fun. We get a skid steer and a backhoe and whatever the heck else. I don't really like mowers.
Redefine team building exercises. Like, okay, you get the skid steer, you get the backhoe. We're gonna go to the land in the phase that no one's touching, and let's just fun. That's the best type of team building that I haven't heard.
Trust exercises where you got to like lift the backhoe up over someone else and put it down. Don't fuck it up.
Wow.
Dig the tunnel. Make sure it doesn't collapse.
I'm not under there. Yeah.
Other should be like robot wars where you're having like battles with the skids, tip each other over, or tying little
skid jousting really slow.
Like a or demolition derby, just with the different equipment. You've seen those the robot wars. Sure, y'all have your own different things on them, different attack mechanisms. Yeah, if it's at the end of its life, for sure we can do that.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
that's a couple grand for selling it versus just turning it into robot wars. That one sounds a lot more fun.
That would be the part amenity that would sell well. Like,
dude, I'm telling you.
A robot
seriously,
like Robot Wars little dome.
Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, I dig it.
Well, we laughed, but like 20 years from now. No idea. We might be like, hey, remember what we were talking about as a joke 20 years ago? And it's like, now that some iteration of this crazy idea, like the Jetsons was a crazy idea. It's like, we'll talk the Jetsons alive, but like, I don't know. People are going to find alternative ways of entertainment. I feel like BattleBots is evergreen. Like, who doesn't want to see robots beat each other?
That's true.
But they're still fighting, Yeah, it's family friendly. Everybody can enjoy
it. I just had a call with my other staff member. They're going to Vegas next week with his kids, and they actually booked tickets. Because Vegas housed that arena still.
Yeah.
Maybe Destiny. Because here we are, 2 calls back to back talking about it on unrelated topics. Maybe it is meant to be some sort of battle arena of skid steers.
I see a BattleBots conference at our RV resort, the most technologically advanced. Hey, come here, bring your own house, and watch the fight. I think that would be a hit. You could do it in the off season, even
better. We could save money on construction. If we set up zones for specific things and say, look, you just have to pick up the dirt, move it over there, and you pay me to do. Why isn't that adult construction sandbox a real thing? We should call Evan Rowley. Like, what's the insurance? What's the premium? It's only $1 million follower. Like, you're good. We're good. But that needs to happen. I bet the Saudis do that in the desert. They're like, let's go play with construction equipment. Americans think it's so expensive.
It is. It's crazy.
You don't worry much about liability insurance. That's where the money would be. If someone gets hurt, then we're in trouble. That's the only issue.
And fixing all those hydraulic issues because idiots are operating the controls of them. Yeah, they'd have to have some type of certification. Then I'd feel better. I don't want my thing getting messed up as much. But that's what you do when you rent stuff to other people usually, is they mess it up. They don't care as much as if you own. So
that's true. Prototype that I never finished building, which was a construction simulator, dual joysticks, 3 70-inch TVs. I built it on top of the flying simulator setup that I built, racing and flying. And I never got around to finishing it. I'm like, man, like that. Why is there not an arcade, full on where you're like moving around and we get the stuff? Like that would be for the adults. That would be next to the bar, not next to the kid though.
It's all possible, for sure.
Possible.
Yeah. So, what are we talking about today here? We want to discuss some outdoor experiences and why RV parks are so awesome and with outdoor experiences. Is that what I hear?
Yeah, exactly.
I think more like our personal history too, right? Because we've heard a little bit, but Zach, I actually know how you got into RV parks. We talked about like I don't know what your RV experience was before. Like I know Eric lived in the Airstream. I told Ryan, I was like, we haven't spoke about a couple years ago that I spent 13 consecutive years in Yogi Bear Park. I booked it like a year in advance, and we did like family vacations at Yogi Bear Park all the time. So we have such like. It always the upbringing in RV parks. I didn't even cross my mind until like, wait, maybe I've just been slowly tuned to be into the outdoor hospitality as a kid. Now it's coming to fruition as an adult.
Yeah, I like how you say that. Yeah, I mean, you make those formative memories as a kid, and having such a great time for year after year sounds like, for sure, man. That's why. RV parks are just a little bit more than an awesome real estate investment play and a moneymaker. You get to have those memories again, and give those memories, frankly, is one of the reasons I love it. It's cool. So you were 13 years at Yogi Bear. You would go and like tent camp?
It was like 13 years almost consecutively, I think.
But it's like year 1 to 13 where you conceived and like is that
I said an RV park, a Yogi Bear Park. I feel like my last time there was like early college. So it was gotta be like 7 or 8 to like 21, 22.
That's awesome.
And I remember we booked it all the time. We booked the cabins, all the fishing. I remember like falling on my bike. So I fell on my bike a bunch of times. But there's like vivid memories of like building little ramps by the putt-putt course while I was there, like falling. It's like, oh my God, that was like 30 years ago. And I still remember that all times. So like cracked my bike at Yogi Bear Park.
Cracked your bike even. Oh, yeah. Those are formative memories, man. Yeah, cracked your bike. But you're experimenting and trying things out and seeing what happened, right? They're new experience for you. And I love that. That's super cool. Yeah. That's super neat. So what were some of your favorite memories of that over the 13 years? Cracking your bike probably wasn't your favorite.
It was. I remember it because it's just this little like lip on the curb that was dirt. You know, you can jump in your bike. It is like I remember coming back like for 3 consecutive years and like hitting this little ramp and doing it for like 3 or 4 hours. Like as an adult, it was so boring now. But like I would just be like all day, like in front of the clubhouse, just jumping this little dirt hill with like 3 or 4 other kids in me, right? Just going for hours. It was right by the putt-putt course. I remember like you would jump, and if you like miss, you'd fall into like a putt-putt course. So the course, they always yell at you like quit falling into the course, but like you just come back and do it anyway. And of course, they don't care. They're like quit it, and they leave. They're not gonna like force you out. So.
Yeah.
I remember that stuff vividly. I remember catch and release pond they had. I remember fishing quite a bit. The bonfires particularly, which I guess is a base for every RV park is bonfires, right?
Yeah.
Everybody loves fire.
Yeah.
Those
primal.
Yep.
Yeah.
They had water slides too, like I recall. And they had like outdoor and indoor swimming pools. I remember doing all the water slides. Whole bunch of stuff. But it'd be like a week at a time. I know we book it like a year in advance because this was in Indiana of all places, so it's close to you, Zach.
Okay.
And like it would be like booked a year in advance, and we would have to like book the trip while we were there for the following year because we couldn't get into it. It'd be so crazy.
Nice.
And that was 25 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
I think they're reincorporated into Jellystone. Now they're at 70 plus locations. And these family parks have taken a lot of notes from like what they offer. Because we want to have fun resorts and fun parks. That people say, hey, I want to be a repeat customer. This is my seasonal thing, my 13 years tradition that we're starting. But it's interesting to see some of the adjustments. They're putting in really fancy. I mean, they're just like the kid version of Hilton. out in the RV world, some of them are. You'll see that the quality is like, you would think it's very outdoorsy, old school, but they've caught up. So that even some of these bigger corporations, you see them bringing more of that adventurous family fun with 4x4s, and all these activities that were only relegated to really like high end, just a handful of places, and places like the Yogi RV Park. I mean, Jelly's a brand. They're just like, we're just going to spread that type of level of entertainment and fun and family. We're just spread across the U.S., across Canada. And it's awesome to see that growth of that type, because that's like where I'm bringing my kid once he's old enough to really enjoy. Might be like 2. I'm going to be one really enjoying it. So whatever. So it'll be a fun time. I do want to ask one thing. Okay, everybody, raise your hand if you were in Cub Scouts. I mean, gather like, the Cub Scout. Okay, that's why like we all kind of have the same roots, right? Who made it to Boy Scouts? Yeah, did I make it past year 1 Boy Scouts? No. But so we all have like campground, outdoor camp lifestyle experiences that buying an RV park is naturally the instinct to do something like that is 10 times more powerful than going, let's go after multifamily. I like self-storage because you can store all your toys, but really that's kind of my ideas, what I would use self-storage. But with RV parks, it's more okay. Let's buy our memory making potential places that we can bring our future kids, current kids, family, and enjoy with them.
Yeah. Don't get me to nerd out about RV parks and why they're so great, but I mean, it's real estate number one. And so I'm looking in real estate. Shane, you asked like, how'd I get into RV parks? How I got into RV parks is different than why I love them so much. And like my history with the outdoors, that's true to my heart. I'll tell you that. But I mean, RV parks, come on, they're durable. As an engineer, I want something that's durable. It's really good for taxes, real estate. I want something where there's less liability. Sitting as Brian there, a lawyer, I want less liability. Your own stuff, bring it and leave, right? Perfect. And like sign these things off, something that spits out tons of cash, something that has low break-even points for any business. That's great. You mentioned 50% was the profit margin on that window business that you're buying. But yeah, RV parks, ours is 22% occupancy. And like we get all of our taxes eroded from things that we're doing with the real estate and everything else. It's an amazing cash vehicle that also right now is poised for super growth with just the appreciation that's happening, the marketplace, the macroeconomics, everything, the supply and demand. It's amazing. But because you can enjoy it, oh my gosh, and because we can develop something from scratch, it's a playground that we can make whatever the heck we want, an adult playground that makes lots of money. Yes, sign me up for that every day. And so that's why I got sold. Like I was a consultant for the whole team that we have right now, the pieces as they were coming in. I was a consultant, and they were eventually begging me like, hey, you want to join this? You seem like you know your stuff pretty well, and it'd be great for someone to handle the whole real estate and like business, like overall running the business. And I'm like, all right, I just gotta make sure everything is right first, because it's got to say no to certain things. Otherwise, you get inundated with everything. So, eventually came on board. And that was about a year and a half ago when just was doing that. I'm just really good at real estate and business. And I love the outdoors and this asset class. It's huge.
Let me ask this question, because I asked myself this question. Like, why did I get to RV parks now, and why not first? Because in addition to my Yogi Bear experience, my dad was a park ranger for 44 years. That's all he did his whole life. And I worked in the Parks and Rec as a park supervisor for almost 12 years. So, but like RVs, like sort of came. I mean, they make so much sense now. Like, hey, this is the perfect blend of real estate, business, and your whole life as an outdoor person. But like, for some reason, it wasn't a direct path to it. Like a real estate adventure wasn't RVs on day one. It was like single family, multifamily. It was like a chaotic puzzle to get to RVs. I'm just curious if you ever asked yourself why wasn't RVs on day one, or even mobile home parks? Why did it go through all the other asset classes in real estate and then eventually come back to our roots. Like, why do we go this long way away just to come back to it?
Yeah. I mean, I'll answer that for me. I had no clue. I had no clue, for one, that, how to buy it, how to do anything with that. And I came from not a lot of money growing up. We had my parents from the hippie generation. They taught me to hug trees and do good to people. We didn't have a lot of money. We had tons of love, and that's why they gave me these great experiences. But I didn't even believe that I could buy something big, something has a price tag of $1 million, $2 million, 5, 10, however many. And RV parks, they don't have to cost that much. They don't go too much bigger than that, unless you're building something like we're building, which will be more like a $50, $60 million resort. But under 10 almost all the time. But still, that's 10 million. We're saying, oh, it's only under like $10 million. But like me starting out, I had no money, destroyed credit, no experience. Like, I'm an engineer and I can figure things out, but I'm like, why don't I start with something I know? There's a house around me. What if I buy this and get rid of this expense and turn it into an asset and rent it out? Like, how can I do that, or do something where I'm not having that problem anymore and making money with it? And so, now I know wholesaling from going through it. I know buying. I know all the different ways of doing things. So it's like, yeah, for sure. All those can happen with RV parks. It's just another asset class. It's as simple as that. Multifamily, mobile home parks, self-storage, single family homes, short-term rentals. It's just a different little asset class with different rules behind it. And this one I get to develop, which happens to work with what I know. And so I don't know, man. I just did not have all the pieces, but mostly the confidence when I first started out. Yeah, I need to know things ahead of time. That's the engineer in me. I need to see the path in front of me. I'll lead myself a little bit into the darkness, but I need to know that there's light on the end of that tunnel. And I wasn't the leader that I was 12 years ago, or that, I wasn't 12 years ago the leader that I am now, and with everything that I know how to do. And so, yeah, and that's why I had pause while my little boy was born. I'm getting up for that. I'm like, what do I want to do? What do I do? I'm looking around. Everyone's screaming multifamily. It seems like I should do multifamily, because everyone said Ohio's a great place for cash flow. So I'm like, I guess I'm in Ohio. I should buy around me a lot of properties. That's what I'm doing. I'm busy doing things, and yeah, until I had a whole team that was like local. Buying a place in North Carolina just without being local is outside my risk tolerance as well. I want boots on the ground to make sure everything is super awesome. And so that solidified it. And that's why we're buying this other one as well. That's in North Carolina.
Nice.
Interesting. What about you, Ryan? You want to go with your experience? Because we actually own RV parks, but curious. Yeah, kick it off.
So, from my experience, houses were always easier to get. So, once you get them on sub-tour terms, it's really easy. I got a bunch of houses for $5,000 down, which was easy. So, $5,000 and you get a rental. So, the progression RV parks, happened because of, I guess the progression of, like Zach said, average RV park is, $1 to $5 million.
Average RV park is
$5,000 is a whole lot easier than $2 million.
$5,000 is a whole lot easier than
so that's why I guess I started that way as well.
That's why
I got more into solar financing. So then I got my first park.
More into solar financing.
Then go from there.
First park.
For me, my family always went RVing when I was a teenager, so it got more fun. I was like going and seeing new sites and places like there's the falls and other places we went, like national monuments and stuff. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
the crazy thing is there's more and more people at these places now.
There's more and more people at these places now.
It's not like it was back 20 years ago. But it's still fun. It's still fun to go.
But it's still fun.
Get more parks and actually build the cash flow now.
More parks and actually build the cash flow now.
Yeah. How about Eric?
Yes, you were actually RVing around a lot as a child with your family.
Yeah,
that's
for
cool.
sure. We were going to all the Western states.
You were always the rich people to us. I'll tell you that. You were always the rich people. Like the rich people had RVs, not our family, right? So we did we did much more primitive things, and I could tell you that later. But yeah, so you had fun actual RVing experience going around with your family. That's neat. What are some of your favorite memories with that?
Well, like we took a trip to the Grand Canyon, then we hiked it. And then we took a trip to the North Dakota, you know, the I can think of it, but the two monuments there. We saw that. Then we went to the Black Mountains, South
Mount
Dakota.
Rushmore, is that in North Dakota? Oh,
So yeah, then we went to Florida once. Went to the Florida Keys. And that was kind of interesting because you had to take this little bridge to the Keys and just to get there. And if you get there before it's too late, before high tide comes, you have to wait. So little things like that we learned. And,
is that right?
yeah. Then we took a trip to Alaska once. Actually, Canada. Then we decided to go to Alaska last minute. So we spent a week in Alaska, but actually it was 3 weeks in BC, British Columbia. That was kind of fun because you have to see a bunch of like huge trees and everything. Yeah, some really good trails up there.
Yeah, you get to see all the landscape. You get to travel around.
Yeah,
that's what I love now. That's the other thing I guess that I love about it is just it forces us all to get around when we're buying parks in different places. Let's go there. Let's check this out. We're it's like it's in alignment with my vision, which I've written down, which is to live in 3 different places throughout the year with everyone. And so how do you do that with kids, with school, with your job, with, you know, but I didn't care. I was going to do it. And so that is just perfect. Yeah, I didn't consider. I thought short-term rentals would be a way of doing it, but yeah, let's just own an RV park everywhere that we want to go and make that RV park awesome so that adults and kids would want to play there. It sounds perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Tons of fun.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. How about Eric?
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh man, if you would have asked me in prior to October of 2021, I would ever consider even living in an RV, I would have said, F no. But and I did say that when my wife asked me, "Do you want to sell this house you've been working on for 18 months?" My first hands-on flip house hacking scenario. She asked me, "So do you want to get rid of this, buy an RV?" And I'm like, exploded, right? So a week later, I said, "Okay, what do you think?" And then she showed me Airstream. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. Those look good. Like I don't like the old 1980s Rambler or the RV America, RV USA style ones that are straight out of a family vacation with cousin Eddie. I'm like, I don't want that. But this maybe I can get down with it. And the whole fact is like as a kid, I was in Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, did a lot of outdoor stuff. But as I got hit my teens and college days, I became more of a city slicker, more into technology. Like if the branch didn't have LEDs and light up, I really wasn't interested in them. Still like the fire, and, having little s'mores, things like that in the backyard. But that was like camping. It's like go out back, hit the fire pit. You just did a whole camping expedition. So a week later, after that asked me, I went, started looking around, and it was just the way things fell into place to get us into the world of RV as full-time RVers. It was just crazy. Like nothing was available. It was the height of COVID, and then searched everything we wanted, which is 27 feet long, was enough to move our belongings, our 2 dogs in. It was all on the West Coast. Nothing on the East Coast. So we're like, how do we get rid of this house? How do we get rid of there? And we went and looked at all the units for selling like 2-year wait list time. Everything was selling 120% normal MSRP. And next day, the exact model we wanted used popped up a mile from where I was sitting at my parents' house, and we just grabbed everything, flew over there, met people, super nice. It was like in a museum. Like those people babied it more than the dealer probably would baby their inventory. So we pretty much got a brand new unit that was less than 2 years old, and to get that unit I had to sell my house to get that unit because those people were leaving for Europe in 2 weeks. So it was like we found the dream. We're like, okay, how do I get $105,000 when it's all tied up in the house that we renovated? So try to find hard money loan, try to figure a way to finance it because we were all tied up in this house. And I ended up playing a video game with a buddy of mine from middle school, and I was like, "Hey, do you know anybody that would do a hard money loan for $105,000?" He's like, "What's it for?" I'm like, "My dream RV. We're gonna go travel the US." He said, "Oh, I got you." And we just kept playing Diablo. And the next day, he wired $105,000. I hadn't spoken to him or hung out with him in 15 years. We had just caught up over online. Just ran into each other in the game. We just started playing that game like 2 months prior again, kind of catch up that way. So that was, and then we ended up. We had like 4 days before they were gone to be missionaries in like Eastern Europe for 2 years. So like it was just one of those things where it all fell into place. Then we decided we sold the house, moved all our belongings that we didn't keep sell with the house into like 3 different storage areas. Whatever parents would let us put storage bins under their decks and in the backyard. And we hit the road. We in 3 months after we had prepped everything and got ourselves ready, we ended up hitting the road. Did it for 2.5 years. A little break here and there. And over time, I came to appreciate not just the lifestyle, but like at these different RV parks, the different experiences that we were having firsthand with the people, the location, just being in nature, and from trying to wholesale to trying to flip a house and set up my first investment duplex scenario that went sideways into not doing any real estate at all. I wasn't real estate for now. I'm like, I'm good. Let's just travel and trying to convert my prior IT business to a fully remote business. Started to run into some roadblocks. So coincidentally, when I met the team that I was hired as a consultant, and then Zach was hired as a consultant shortly after, which is now our primary team, GPs. It was just a phone call from a friend who was like, "Hey, I found these people that want to do a smart RV park. And you're the most tech-savvy guy I know. I helped him with his business and some other stuff. And he's like, I'm just going to introduce you guys to see what happens. It was one phone call. Just said, okay, cool. I'll go meet them. And then I brought the drone, took some footage, met Kevin, met the Barrows, Michelle and Ed, and from that point, it was ironic because I was developing and about to launch an RV park marketing company. I was going to translate a lot of my IT and some of the marketing I was doing with my clients and say, hey, maybe I can just go to these parks, stay for free, fix their marketing, get some passive income, kind of rinse and repeat, and just do that around the US, and kind of reinvent myself and redevelop a way to have an income and to be in this business. And it all literally happened within just days of each other, me buying the domain, RV Park launch, and then getting into this consulting contract with the team. And from that point on, we ended up doing more than just marketing. We ended up just going in and doing actual brainstorming. It's like, how can we make this not just another RV park? Because our main resort is not. It's a little bit off the road. There's going to be a high work in that general area, but it's not like somewhere that you can just go up a main interstate and right there. You got to drive, so we need to have the pull to get people there. So in the first iteration, the park was we're at 75 acres now. The original park was 10 acres. We were like 1/8 the size roughly. And we were going to have 60 pads. We had 1/5 the pads because it was going to be 300 at a new one. Our original was only 60. We had all these just like red flag and obstacle to go over. Figured it out, and I went in from coming in just on the marketing side, thinking I would never do RVs, and then getting thrown into it, and then just traveling and going, crap, I need to pivot, and to make this lifestyle work, to do it for a longer time, you had to figure a way to really be a remote worker. And then going in and then having this one project, the first version of it, like got up to the top of the hill, and then the floor just flat beneath us to do some 2 feet for the neighbor. We ended up where we are now with the new Hidden Beach RV Resort. I'm in this position from thinking of doing marketing for RV, getting into the marketing world, then becoming a team member and a GP and providing now not just marketing for one resort, but now for upcoming portfolio of 25, and just everything ballooned in the best way possible. And that was just because we trusted my family, my wife and I trusted our gut of like, we should do this while we can. We should go explore. We should get into the RV world. We should just figure out what we haven't been finding here in the hustle and bustle grind of Atlanta for 10 years. I loved all of our homes. We made beautiful homes, beautiful lofts, like if historic lofts, 25 foot tall brick walls that we owned, and great things like that. But it was just, I got tired of having a $7,000 overhead every month. Having with the vehicles, the house, and we went down and we shrunk to a third of that roughly. And now we do have a house because we're having a kid, but still we're only having a house because we want to have our son walk before maybe walk. Just a little bit older, right? Before we take him back on the road. So we're only here. We got a house. We have to. We were really like, wow. I guess so. And then we found one 6 houses down from our family. From my mother, my wife's mom. She's like, yeah. I'm gonna have a kid over there. Grandma's like right here. We're gonna smell grandma's cooking, and then when dinner's ready. And yeah, I mean, it's just all happened serendipitously. I'm not sure if that's right. Just like it just happened in a way that I accepted it. We accepted it, and it's been the best choice. And that's one thing I want other people to do. Is like, if you feel a call to nature and it doesn't require CP, follow it. Listen to it.
Yes.
Very interesting stories. We come from so many backgrounds. And also, what I thought about too is like, I grew up in a mobile home park too. It crossed my mind the other day, why did I never get a mobile home park? I mean, I was there for 23 years. Trailer Park Boys was my jam, but like I never considered it. And obviously now it's still like it's an adjacent forte, right? But still, like it's so strange that like it took so long. But some of we've all had these journeys where like it was just like it built after each thing we learned, each spear we demolished, and sometimes things just change in a single day. Like all of a sudden, like you're going left, now you're going right, and it took one blink of an eye, and you stumbled into something new, and you just kind of roll with it. So it speaks to life's journey. God, you never know. I write in my journal sometimes that like you have a bad day, and it takes like one moment to change the day or one day to change the week. So it's crazy like how your income in life can dictate in a matter of hours.
And it's the under your nose mindset. So many people are blind to what's right underneath their nose. Like I was in there. I did IT at a big multinational company as a paid intern, and I was like, "This is the worst experience." I was making great money at like 18, 17, making like $20 an hour. I didn't realize that was great. I was just like, "Oh, this is where I started. This is the bog, man." And it was horrible. I think I was there 6 months, 9 months, and I didn't want to do IT for like 8 years, 10 years, and then I started doing it again, and I started making like $200 an hour. The clientele I was working with, and I was like, I work less, I make more. It's fun, and these clients buy me gifts, and I go to dinner with them, like get it installed, $25,000 racing simulators, and get paid to test them out for a few hours. Like, okay, it was under my nose the whole time. I just didn't appreciate it, and I didn't take a chance to look at it at another angle. And that's the biggest thing with RV parks. People have seen Family Vacation, Uncle Eddie, and they don't know that that's one horribly missed bad portrayal of the industry, and the angle that is like seared in Americans' mind with Jaws, like all sharks are bad, right? It's like we are trying to rewrite that narrative because we know how much fun it is, and we know how awesome it is, and it's just it's gonna take a lot of work for us to like dust off and really shake off that weight, that burden of the image of the industry that has been given to us by Hollywood and just media for the past few decades. So I feel like we have a lot of work to do, but it's going to be fun work. Like I can really see myself doing any other type of real estate work and being as excited as I am every time I talk about it, every time I think about it. So yeah, we got a little bit of a battle to like really say, hey, this is what it is because we're building it. This is what we could be. This is the experiences everybody should have. And I really hope more Americans and more tourists, international tourists, just get a chance to see America's. It's so beautiful. And I'm from another country that has amazing beaches, an island. But America, like after traveling it, is still. I can't wait to get back to the road and keep seeing more and more of it. But it's just you never run out of things to see, places to see, people to meet. That's the best part. People to meet. I met some of the most amazing people on our travels. I can't wait to meet more that come to our parks and our resort.
Absolutely. I mean, the unique thing too is that we're part of North America. We're such a large continent. As Brian said, he went from like PNW to Canada to Alaska. Heck, you can even go down to Mexico. I mean, you can literally, it's more than a lifetime's worth of RV can be had in a single lifetime with the amount of places to visit, even on just our simple landmass, right? And obviously, if you ever decide to go overseas or South America, like you can do it your whole life and never experience it all. And that's what we try to tell people is that RVs are your best experience to try to see, I guess, the world and nature in its like most basic form, but we still have some of those amenities of common day. But I have a family who's never traveled before, and like they've only been to like one state, and it's like, yeah, you could get an RV, you could have been saving the same amount of money, and you could have just been seeing more of the world and understanding. I think it just makes us smarter too. There's just so much about the world that we're all sort of naive to until you experience it. I mean, when I was in South America, off your joke, Eric, I don't know if that toilet paper was a commodity. I thought you just had it everywhere you went. You know, down there, you had to go find it. Like people were stealing it. You had to go pay for it to use the restroom. In Iceland, you had to pay to use the restroom. It was just like weird commodities that you were in the U.S. I was like, oh, it's not normal. Like, TP isn't just everywhere for free all the time. Like, you actually have to like pay to get into it. So I just like those little funny things that you just learn. Like, the world is so different than we thought. Once we leave our little bubble, and that's what RV allows you to do is bring home with you so you feel secure, but you can go dabble and take the risk in all these other parts of the world you've never experienced.
I'm bougie. We had to have 4 internet connections so I could stream 4K internet from my server in Atlanta. Anywhere I went, it's like middle of Mexico, like that coyotes and just it's like middle of nowhere, and I'm like, made it work. Another funny thing is people from Europe come to America and they go, they're in Raleigh. Hey, do you just want to drive over to Chicago tonight? Yeah, let's just go. Because they're used to taking high-speed trains that'll take them from London to Paris in 2 hours. Something like that. So they have no idea how massive. Like some people are like, oh, yeah, we're going to go to New York, and then we have 7 days. So we're going to go to New York, Miami, maybe stop by in like Seattle, and then loop around to LA, hit up the Mexico border, and make it in time for dinner. On the 5th day, back in New York, it's like, look at a map, sir. It's a little bigger than you think.
But yeah, just driving around, having no fear. I mean, that traveling around, yeah, gosh, Shane, yeah. I mean, having family that has never traveled, we have some cousins where he's a farmer and he doesn't want to leave his town, like his small town. He's like, oh, no, is that outside the limits of this here? Not going there, And it's like, just a different way people look at it. But I love traveling. My family, my wife and my little boy's gonna love it, and he's gonna have a different view of it than I had, and we can just enjoy all of the different nature that's around, because it's fun, like you were saying, Shane, going back to the same place over and over and over again. There's nostalgia there, there's re-exploration there of the site, of yourself. You look at things differently at different ages going to the same place, whether it's changed or not. You've changed, so the lens is different that you're looking at. So that's part of the fun. But obviously just going to different places that have radically different scenery. Arizona is very arid and dry. The rocks are red, versus upstate New York in the Adirondacks. You've got big trees, everything green, bears, rivers, all of that. And then just all over, so many different things. And you even see them on TV, right? The Nature Channel and stuff. And you're like, I don't have to just watch it on TV. We can go there. That's what it unlocks. So that's what I'm excited, is to, teach my little boy remotely so that we're flexible. He's as flexible as I am to work. He's as flexible to learn. Frankly, we'll teach him better things too. But teaching him outdoors and everything that there is, that's what my parents gave me. I love them so much for that and those experiences. You know, and you don't realize them, but it takes some time. Like, man, I mean, I've like Eric, I've been a Cub Scout, Boy Scout, going through everything, lots of tent camping. We didn't have any fancy glamping anythings. Are you kidding me? We had a tent and we put it on the ground and we trenched around it in case it rained so that the rain would go into a trench and you divert it away from where you're sleeping. Because if you get wet, it sucks a lot more than just regular camping when you're going to be there a week. But tons of fun. I mean, we would canoe every year. So like your 13-year thing, we would canoe every year. It was for, man, at least 8 years when I was 8 years old, a little before that, before my sister was born. She's 7 years younger than me. And then we would do it a lot with my sister too. But we would go to this place in this reservoir and bring all our stuff, get in the canoe. And when it was my sister there, she had to stay behind with my mom because the canoe could only take so much with all our gear. I was in the front, on the bow. He was in the stern, my dad, in the back, so he could control it and make sure. I didn't know what the heck I'm doing. He's like, just paddle a little bit on this side, then that side, till like we'll get us there. But it took about 45 minutes to an hour to go out to this island and then hook around. And sometimes there was big ass waves, like 3-foot waves in front of me. I remember, and I'm like, I don't want to be here right now. He's like, you got to go forward. You just got to go forward. There's no back. You don't want to go sideways to this. We have to go directly into it. And it's just like, all right. Right. Okay, Dad. And then so we get to this place that we would always go to, the island, and there was room for one family to stay there. Drop things off at this sand beach, and then you'd go up these steps about 2 stories. You'd go up these steps to where there was a camping area, and you could put our canopy and build our fire. There's a fire pit there. But he would usually leave me when my sister and my mom were back. He would have to leave me with the gear. I would bring it all up. He's like, all right, I'll go back because it's 45 minutes back. Pack them all up in there. 45 minutes at least to get back here. So I had an hour and a half to 2 hours to rake the whole camp so that we weren't sleeping on sticks and stuff on our back, right? You know, get that primitive experience, and then take all those sticks and use it as kindling and build your fire, whether it's, you know, a teepee or a log cabin type of fire for cooking. I would build that. Loved fire. But yeah, I'd get tons of experience. They'd come back. We'd cook food, different fun foods that we would pack. We'd go fishing in the lake because we had a canoe. So we would just fish out of that, cook that. He'd bring his little rifle that would collapse. It's collapsible rifle. So we could do all that. Floats, right? Is a floating collapsible rifle. So we'd do a little target practice and have fun with that. But we didn't have screens. We didn't have anything. And I loved that as well. The disconnect from all of that, playing cards and, you know, having just fire and conversations about things and listening to all the birds and the animals and really each other, connecting with your family. It was, yeah, I mean, they're vivid memories that I have when I was really young. They were formative. I know, you know, we didn't have the money that other people had, but we had these cool experiences, and like, I know how to do all this stuff. I feel capable. They're equipping me with capability and putting me through scouts to, you know, they would invest in me. And so tons of love that just felt like awesome as an adult. We can do all these things. And I've gone to Ace Adventures where you have like going down the water slides, the water rapids, and camping there. I've done that as an adult with you know, women in my life. I haven't actually camped with my wife yet, so that's interesting. But I feel like even if she's the worst camper ever, I'm the best, so it'll balance out. So that'd be fine. But yeah, one of my things that I've loved doing is hiking the highest points in the US. You guys ever think about that? Do you guys like hiking? They have a list where I have them plotted on Google Maps, and I'm like, I want to hike to the highest point in every freaking state. And some of them are really tall. They're really tall. But they're fun experiences.
Everest before I'm 45. That's my got 6.5 years.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, Everest
expensive
is
and it takes
easy
a
now.
year
You
preparation minimum training. So it's
Nah, Everest is easy. You just really hang on to the person in front and
Sherpa.
behind, and they're
Yeah,
like it's a train nowadays.
I'm 5'6", so I can fit on most Sherpas, I believe.
There you go. Yeah, Sherpa it up, man, for sure. I would too. They say get down. Don't try and get on that. I'm like, where's mine?
You can ski down,
Yeah.
right? Ski down Everest.
Yeah,
Fast sprint ever.
They did there's people who paraglided off the top all the way to the ocean. That sounds absolutely amazing. I gotta get the
there's
paragliding
people
calls.
that died
Yeah.
that way too.
There's a lot of people that died just getting to the top.
Yeah. Wow.
I think
I wanna
I was going to mention just like
I'm gonna pick back up Zach real quick. You talk about your kids and your wife there. A funny thing that we're talking about now too is like my stepson now he's going to be 17 this year, and we find that a lot of kids I feel like are lost now because their technology brings too much of the world to them in like a modified way. And we think RV parks is a way. Michelle's moving into an RV. Is to get them out to experience more. Because I feel like a lot of kids don't know what they like now because they get all these things right in their little phone, but they're always kind of bored or depressed because they don't know what they like. So we're trying to force people out and like in the nature and get experience and learn what you like by trying more things. Like I feel like you only figure out what you like by going through a bunch of stuff you don't like eventually, right? Like, hey, I hate these 100 things. I like this one. So we're trying to force those experiences through RVs. And we're finding that as we talk about technology, how we balance those two, and we're finding that I think we need to remove technology and force like our son into an outdoor experience where he has to get a little dirty, play with some sticks and dirt, and maybe turn his phone off and learn to be, self-sufficient, learn to be mindful of his phone. We're hoping to use RV parks as a way to give that experience of how you can still be tied into tech at the park, but how can you also be removed and be present in your life, which is something I find that we're a big benefit for us to consider RV life.
I love that. I think that's phenomenal, Shane. Yeah, and I didn't know you had a stepson that was 17. That's awesome. That's at a fun age where I guess it's technically they say up to 6. They're looking to the mom. From 6 to 12, they look to their dad for certain things. From 12 to 18, they look to their like peers and outside network for some things. And then it's chaos after that. You look everywhere, right? And then all of a sudden you love your parents again when maybe you're like, I didn't. So it's exciting, but I'm cognizant of all those things, and I'm excited to be a present dad through the entire process. And I'm like, my little boy knows so many things now. He's lifting and he's doing all these things. He'll run when there's a room full of toys and kids. He'll run to the weights and grab them and lift them up and do different things and like roar and flex and just like having fun. But he'll do stuff like that. I want him to understand outdoors and everything that is. I want him to understand how things are built and constructed, because I can build anything and I love it. I like the tech too. He's gonna have to know that if he's gonna live in the age that he's in right now, right? Just being born, it's a much more technological age. He will never have a life without AI or little speakers around him all the time. But like, to have it as this is a training mechanism. This is the RV park. Like, there's so many good lessons that you can have there, and you just, other people would want that too. Give them the experience. Hey, come learn how to do this thing over here. That's something that we could do. Like, hey, we're having a demonstration on this, something interesting to do. But for my little boy as well, I'm going to teach him finances that I was never taught, because in my wife's family, she only learned about finances when she was young by her parents saying that they didn't have money for something. So she's like, I've learned that we don't have money for things, right? In my family, we just never talked about finances at all. So I'm just did not have that it's an awkward topic in my past to talk about, because we just didn't talk about it. It's one of those things like, hey, we're talking right here. Should we be talking about finances? Should we be talking about sex that everyone has? Should we be talking about all these things, religion, controversy, politics, whatever, something that affects everyone all the time? Of course we should. But how are we going to talk to our kids about that? It has been on my mind. And so I look for thought research on that. And a good one is, besides not paying for like allowances and instead making it value added type of things, gigs that he can do. That's a good one. Like different allowance. Some of those tasks are like, no, you do that anyway. That's part of just being a part of the household and respect and honor and create that synergy. But then these other ones are gigs. Some of those are gigs, and make how much, have it not be limited. And so you can do whatever you want on this list. Here's a list of things to make money. But for us as well as entrepreneurs, her and me, we want to teach him that you don't have to go to a place to make money. You know, we're working from home. Dada's always at home making money, doing things. That's interesting. That's different. Okay, tuck that away in my head. And then, when we're on vacation, teach him like, guess what? We just made money. Like mama just made money. Dada just made money from this. He's like, how could that be? We're like in the middle of nowhere in the woods enjoying this. You just made money right now? Yes, son, we did. Let's teach you all the different money that did come in right now. And guess what? You're sitting in some of it. Right. And so I think that's an awesome teaching lesson, just to create a different thought in their heads, that seed that you're not bounded by what normal convention would be making you bound by, or that you're being taught as a younger child. So I'm excited for all of that to be in our parks and all over the country. Just lots of excitement as a dad. That lens has really made it like educational, fun, but then I'm putting myself in the shoes of the clients a lot more as well, the customers. So it's like, if I make it fun and educational and lucrative and convenient for me, then tons of other people are going to like that too, and they're going to find value in that. So let's do that. How many ways can we do that? And how many ways can we be consistent with our branding? Eric helps with that for sure, but like make it so that they know us for this fun and excitement that's out there. So they'll seek us for that. That's kind of the vision and things that are going on in my head with RV parks.
No big deal. Just a few things.
Just a few things. Scratch the surface. Careful. Yeah.
Well,
but that's cool. I'm excited. I'm glad I got to learn about your guys' past and things a little bit more too. I value that. It colors in the lines where the coloring book was, just a little hollow. Little more hollow, right? But the colors there. You can visualize what you're going to color in certain things to an extent. You know that it's a bunny that you're coloring, a tree, but what color tree and the reasoning that goes behind that, the past, the experiences, that makes us human beings and makes us interesting human beings and is our character to how we make decisions in life. So it's very interesting to me.
Good deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who wants to wrap it up? Any other final points before we wrap her up? Eric, Zach,
One
Ryan.
memory that like everybody has a memory that kind of it's at the time you don't realize the significance. So I was 15, I believe. I was more worried about working out, what girls thought, but my father had taken me on a trip to Moab, Utah, and we actually took like a 3-day expedition down Colorado River. One of these boats that have massive expedition rafts with a group of other people, and got to see some natural, some ancient stone carvings from the natives, and you gotta go up the Grand Canyon a little bit and all that, and it was a really amazing trip. That at the end, the whole goal was to hit some whitewater rapids at the end. Unfortunately, it was a little like they had a drought for a few years, so it was a little calmer than we were like all anticipating for 3 days. Like, one rapid, right? But nonetheless, we ended up with a helicopter ride back to Moab, from where we had started. And I think the next day we did like for a few hours we did 4-wheelers, ATVs in Moab, the Moab Desert. And that was amazing, and I think only the past few years, getting back out in nature, have I really been able to look back at how fortunate I was. With my family, we did travel the U.S. We usually flew somewhere and then traveled close, but we didn't travel all straight from Georgia. And I took my father for granted at the time because I was just more, worried about girls. But now that I've been able to do it without having my future son, here yet, I've been able to go with my wife and experience and go to some of the same places again, and now realize like how much of an opportunity I was given. I think by getting into something like being an RV park owner and an operator and buying across the US, there's going to be some parts that like we'll be able to say, if we provide the place and provide the hospitality for others to visit, like we're kind of crafting those lifelong memories for other families. And that right there is pretty cool because it took about 15 years for that memory to really resurface and go, wow. Yeah, I've been very fortunate on the travels that my family has been taking me on growing up. And they weren't always RV parks, but they were still in the same vein, showing just the natural beauty of America. And I think it feels really good. It's nice to know that like we are kind of taking the flame from some of the owners that are selling us their parks or working with us, and we're passing and carrying that torch for the next few generations to be able to create not just a place to vacation, but like those lifelong, lasting, formative memories.
Absolutely. What did they say? Life in Portuguese, it's experience forward, but only lived in hindsight or lived in reverse. And that's kind of what I feel like all our life has been. You're experiencing it, but until you stop and look back, you realize what you just went through. Sometimes it's good or bad, but it's always like this weird breath of fresh air to look in hindsight. Even through the bad stuff, it always seems so minuscule. Like, it's kind of not a big deal at all. It was like 2 years of my life. But like, would I take it back? Probably not.
And life on the road has two speeds at the same exact time. It's really slow, but things go really fast. You don't realize getting from A to B, getting prepped, all the things you do to take your home with you. You're running both simultaneously. It's juxtaposition. You're like, wow, we're taking it so slow. I've done million things just to get to the next point. And when you're done with it, the reward on a daily or however often you relocate, that reward is like, crack a beer open, put the feet on the couch, and just go, that was worth it. Look at this view.
Yeah, that view. That's the thing that you don't get from owning single family rentals and stuff like that. There's no view you get to enjoy. And usually, I mean, I don't know, I think about mine, that my rental portfolio, they don't have the best view. They make money for me. And it's not necessarily about the best view all the time. So it's cool because RV parks, we get to be proud of them. And that's one of the reasons I'm excited. We're both excited to develop this most technologically advanced RV destination, because we can craft it exactly how we want, and it's a test bed and a playground, and it's something people can be really proud of. And like Eric's saying, we give them those memories. That seems huge. That gives me a little happiness purpose that's in there, like making lives better. I always think about people's lives when they're renting my places. I'm very aware of that, and I want to make it as good within reason. I can't, as a landlord, sometimes you have to keep things within reason. You can't spend all your money on all these things and always give them fresh carpet, fresh paint, fresh this, fresh. Oh, you always want of course everyone wants brand new everything, but you can't do that. But we can craft that now, and we can give them experiences. And since we're not in charge of their kitchens or their baths, they're okay with that. We can make really nice clubhouse, and we can make really nice lazy river, and do all these experiences, make them really nice. It's less to maintain, but that's super cool. Giving tons of experiences and memories, that's the best. That's why when we were coming up with everything, we're like, hey, can we just give these to our investors too? Because we don't hear about anyone else that does that. And it's like, I get where some of these parks we're looking at, investors probably don't really want to go to all of them. It makes money, but it's more that economical choice that makes money that I'm talking about with the portfolio houses versus that really awesome, cool resort. But that's why it's an and with me instead of an or. It's an and. So we've got all of that going on. And come and enjoy our resort. Be a part of our fun. You get to enjoy the resort. you get this and you get this, that whole Oprah effect, right? You get to enjoy this and you get to enjoy this and you're going to want to enjoy this. So invest now, invest early, and make money while you're making memories. Boom. Right? It feels fun to say. It just feels fun to feel as you're saying it. And so I dig that. I dig that a real lot all around.
Just give me a picture of Tom Cruise jumping on those inflatable bouncing pads of KOAs instead of the couch. Like, I need to Photoshop. I need to like take that clip and have them on those.
There you go.
Even Tom Cruise loves these.
Timestamp. Yeah. But that's, yeah, people don't know. People just don't know. And so I'm excited when they do start knowing, they do start exploring and finding, and all of the RV park stock is really uplifted a little bit more. It takes it a little bit from campgrounds to a little modernization, because it will be happening in these next 10 years for sure. It will be happening. So it's fun, man. It's the right time for all of those things, and not a lot of people in the niche, market is having issues with multifamily. So there's money that's released to go elsewhere and to explore around. So there's so many different things that make now an amazing time for that. It wouldn't have been there 10 years ago. I mean, it would have been there, but it was still there. It was always there, right? But I guess all those things that we talked about. I mean, yeah, it's more me. It's our own memory, our own reasons why we didn't get into things. It's more personal.
Absolutely.
But now we do. Now we know. So now that you know about RV parks, you do something about it. Talk to someone about it. Talk to your friends. Invest with any of these fine gentlemen here, or shucks, anyone else if you vet them enough. But invest, diversify. Real estate for sure, but do a little bit in RV parks, and I don't know how you could lose.
Yeah.
We'll have to do this next one. So one up RV park pretty soon here. We need to do like a round fire discussion or something.
Sounds great. Yeah, keep lining them up, Josh. Everyone. Why did I say Josh? I was thinking of someone else. But keep lining everything up, Shane. You're doing an awesome job with that, Brian. I appreciate you guys. And let's just keep chugging around, educating everyone about it, because this isn't going away. It's just going to get more and more and more.
It's going to get bigger for sure.
Absolutely.
It's going to get bigger for sure.
All right. Awesome. Well, thanks for your guys' time.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks for your guys' time.
Yeah. All right. Well,
hey guys, I had posted online. Zach, I don't think you'll be able to do it since they checked the